Good morning, Sean.
Good morning, Jason Bateman.
Now, are you aware, not only have we made a cast change here, we've gotten rid of the Will Arnett, it's just you and me now, but we're also on a cooking show now. And
that
we're
is
going to
correct.
do a 6-can chili.
Yep, that's what
Are you
what are we
excited?
doing with the 6 cans of chili?
Well, we're going to do all the meat and all the veggies you can handle.
Okay.
We're going to triple the tomato sauce, and we're
Okay.
going to put in 4 kinds of garlic. Did you know there's 4 different kinds of garlic?
No, what are they? Can you name them quickly?
Garlic, garlicker, garlicier, and garlicness. It's
I'm
gonna
a
have
big fan of garlicness.
yeah, it's gonna have quite a kick to it.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be you're gonna be busy in the restroom for a while with this. But boy, it's a great weight loss tool. And welcome to 6-Can Chili with Sean and Jason. So Sean was just saying how he's a little groggy this morning because he's still wearing his Oscar hair from last night from his play. So he did not shower after a sweaty theater performance. Just climbed right
I came
in bed.
home. Well, because I'm so fucking tired and I'm so hungry because I don't eat before the show. So I had a massive bowl of spaghetti and ice cream. And I think that's why I didn't sleep, and I'm exhausted today.
They did a Raiders of the Lost Ark marathon. Was it last night or this morning?
Last night, and because the AV guy was here all day too, and I was here early, and then I get up for that, and then I had the show. Blah, blah. Who cares? Anyway, who cares?
Did you ask your AV guy to join you and Scotty for the marathon?
Yeah.
Don't laugh like that's not something you would do.
Now, let me ask you about the Raiders marathon. And my first question is why?
Because the new one's coming out.
Sure, you got to get ready, Will.
Oh, so you got to get teed up?
Yeah.
I'm so
You
excited.
got to have everything fresh so you can tap your neighbor in the theater next to you and go, oh, do you remember in part 3 where they kind of laid some breadcrumbs for this moment? Oh, man.
I'm such a grouch.
Breadcrumbs.
I'm such a grouch about this shit. I just realized that. I'm like, just don't say anything. I'm just
You're
grouch.
going to go see the new Indiana Jones, right, Willie?
You have to. Everybody has
Yeah, I mean,
Is
I don't
the little
know.
boy in you dead?
Yeah.
When did you kill the little boy?
Our guest is laughing. Listen, our guest is
All right,
having it.
here it is. So the guest is getting
Oh, wow.
fucking impatient. So here we're going to go. You don't want to piss this guy off, okay? Because today we have our first world famous DJ on the show.
What?
Okay?
What?
This music master is at the top of his game, spinning and scratching for the fabulous and the famous. He's going to tell us about his passion for music, his land speed record of 180 miles per hour in a Bentley, Will.
Wait, are you serious? We're having a DJ?
Yeah.
That's great.
Nice, Will. He is undefeated. He has an undefeated record in kickboxing. And his
This is a
recent
Bateman
moment.
special. This is
Yeah,
Okay.
I know. This is like he always twists and
his
turns.
recent momentum has been found in a new passion for acting.
Yeah,
Okay?
this is.
And this
That's all.
momentum has come in the form of multiple nominations and wins for BAFTAs, Emmys, SAG, and Golden Globe Awards, as well as box office earnings for his films reaching well over $9 billion. So he's got some nice speed going here with his new passion.
He's got a lot of sound
He's
effects
also
going
one of
on, too.
Time Magazine's 100 most influential people in the world, and most importantly was recently named People's Sexiest Man Alive. All of this in one man, and he's here to tell us how he does it. Please welcome DJ Big Driss, a.k.a. Idris Elba.
No way! No way! I was like, wait, what? Another classic Bateman intro.
You guys had no guesses on that? Come on.
No, that was so crazy.
It does sound
my
crazy.
God.
That's crazy. That cannot be
How
me.
much of that was accurate, Idris?
All of it, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Well, which part? Well, you are undefeated in kickboxing, right?
Yeah, I had one fight.
Okay. Well, you didn't lose.
Undefeated.
And you happen to be a pretty world famous DJ. I led with that's sort of second.
That
to what
I
we're
knew.
doing. Yeah, but
I did not know that.
more as an
I did
actor,
know that.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
The box office stuff is true and impressive. The awards, the nominations, the land speed records, all true.
It's
The
unbelievable.
land speeder.
It's a little bit embarrassing, though, when you put it all
because
in
you're
one.
so
It's
good
like,
at everything.
Yeah, if you hear it all in one package. Right?
It's like, who is this guy?
Idris, did you have a moment of like, who am I? What?
I did. That's why I was using the sound effects to make flatulent sounds to break it up a bit.
Wait, did you really race cars?
Yeah. I did this documentary, which is about, the need for speed and why human beings are into it. And somehow they talked me into trying to break a speed record on a beach in Wales called Penzance Beach. Mm-hmm. And Sir Malcolm Campbell did it last. And the idea is to drive the fastest in 1 mile. So you drive as fast as you can. You get to the 1 mile, the beginning of the 1 mile, and then you hit it for 1 mile and see how fast you get.
It's like a flying lap. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the most stupid thing to do.
Yeah. Why would you do it on an inconsistent surface like a sandy beach?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't know why they do it at the salt flats in Utah either. Like, how about a nice piece of asphalt?
Yeah. So what happens on the beach at 100 miles an hour? What happens is you start to hydroplane. You literally start to float.
Yeah.
And then 180 miles.
But you said let's go ahead and go past that and do 180. Is that right?
Yeah.
God, 180.
Yeah.
I've done 160, and it was really, really frightening.
Yeah.
That's not fun.
What were you on? I mean, sorry.
That was me and our friend Ben Silverman on the Autobahn in Germany in a rented Porsche.
Still a friend?
Perfect guy to have. Somebody,
Oh no, wait! You know what? It was
paying attention.
This was a different Autobahn trip. I think this might have been. Was this Will Adams? It might have been Willie Adams. Anyway, it's scary, but I highly recommend it.
Let me just say right now for the listener who cares out there, Idris Elba right now has a U87 microphone, which is regarded as one of this is, as a guy who does this for a living, that is the Cadillac of microphones. I have one right above me here.
Why aren't you using it?
No, I don't have it. I've got it in its case.
Why don't we get the benefit of that?
I don't use it for this. I mean,
Why?
he is, because I don't know.
Yeah, because you know what? I did my own tech. Okay,
Yeah.
so before you guys come in and grace us all, usually the tech is done for 20 minutes, and it's usually someone that's in here helping that out. But I chose to do it
we don't
myself,
have that.
showing off.
Yeah, sure.
And I used my SM.
Yeah.
And then, everyone was really impressed because we did the tech in 5 minutes. It was like, oh, what are we going to do? And then suddenly my interface, for those who care, started buzzing. So I had to change for the Cadillac of mics. Thank you for saying that.
Oh boy! And listen to how much nicer he sounds than you, Will.
I know, he sounds amazing. He sounds amazing.
Your voice, Will, is it's out there.
Thank you. I mean, I'll take the compliment from you because I think you've got a tremendous voice. And I'm going to start here.
Yes, he does.
Idris, the first time I saw or became aware of you was in The Wire. And forgive me because I'm sure that you're beyond exhausted talking about it, but it's one of the, if not the greatest television program ever made. And you in The Wire were absolutely, for me, just, it blew me away. And then to have like 2 seasons in, someone go, hey, that guy's English. And I'm like, wait.
What?
What the fuck?
Right.
Yeah.
Are you talking about?
We're obsessed with Brits who can do incredible American accents.
His is the best of all time.
Is it difficult doing the American accent? That's our question.
Well, I mean, it is. Yeah, it is to come straight from England and just jump into an American accent and be specific is very difficult. And, I had been living in New York and New Jersey for about 4 years and auditioning like crazy.
Really?
And never getting the job. And I wasn't getting the jobs because my accent wasn't authentic enough. And it wasn't until I really understood and lived the culture that I could sort of pull off the accent. But here's the thing, and I'm going to say this is a bit controversial because, there has been over the last 2 decades this big wave of English actors come to the States and do pretty good sounding American accents, and nail it. And usually they're Southern accents because Southern accents and English accents are closer. So I was sort of part of the first wave of English actors doing pretty convincing American. But if you listen to it now, you're going to go, wait a second. Because you're hearing things that only now, because our ears are a little more tuned to English actors doing American accents, you can hear it, I think, when I watch The Wire or I watch an episode, I go, oh my God, I don't know how I got away with that.
I'll tell you. No, I tell you what. I just watched recently the scene where you call all. I forget what season it is. Maybe the third season, where you call all the families, all the guys together who are the dealers who are running Baltimore, and you're running that meeting, and you're running it like a business. It's amazing. For Jason, I don't think you've seen The Wire. It's incredible.
I saw the first couple of many years ago. I got to get back in it.
And you do the scene where you're like, where you got the kid in the corner and he's on a notepad, and you go, "Motherfucker, are you taking notes of a criminal enterprise?" but I was aware of it. This is just randomly. It's within the last week that I saw that scene again and watched it and was like, again, marveling at like, God damn, that Idris Elba's got a good.
Do you have a hack for the accent? Is there a certain word that drops you into the great spot you want to be in?
It's actually counting to 10.
Oh, really?
And doing, the vowels, A-E-I-O-U. And because when you do them, they just, if you can flatten that out, then you can pretty much flatten a lot of different
things. I bet you
things.
8 is a big one, right?
Eight is fucking horrible.
8.
Well, the way we say it is to 8.
8.
As opposed to 8.
And I'm from Chicago, and when I go back,
we know.
Bye.
How did The Wire come about? Now, that was Alexa Fogel cast that, did she not?
Yes.
Yeah, the great Alexa Fogel. So she saw in you something that we all got to know. So thank you, Alexa.
Thank you, Alexa. Yeah, when I got to New York probably in, how am I going to say, 96, 97. That's when I moved there. And The Wire wasn't until 2000. Right? So I got cast actually in 2000. And I had been auditioning for years. I did maybe Law and Order. Yeah. I did one episode of Law and Order. I did a off-Broadway version of Troilus and Cressida. I think you and I were in the same episode. No.
Were we?
No.
No, really?
And I couldn't get that much work. And Alexa Fogel was one of the casting directors that just kept bringing me back in and saying, "You got something, boy. I love what you do." And then when I got The Wire, she told me, she said, "Listen, when you go for this, the guys are not interested in anyone that's not either from Baltimore or East Coast. They're not even checking for guys from Chicago. No disrespect." And,
Don't take it.
and they're like, you need to go in there and just pretend you're from the East Coast. Don't be specific, just do your thing. I said, all right, great. And at that point, I'd been living there. I was practically doing that every day.
Yeah.
So it was a breeze until the 4th audition. And there's a producer there, was an Irish guy, late great. I've forgotten his last name now.
He sniffed you out.
100% sniffed me out.
Really?
It was like the 4th callback. I'm like, I got this, man. I got this.
Dirty Brit.
And he was like, "Idris, where are you from?"
Uh-oh.
And it was that kind of, where are you from? Are you going to dare lie to us, motherfucker? Or are you going to tell the truth?
Yeah.
And I really paused and I was like, oh, man. And I'm thinking about what Alexa said, "Please don't tell him, I'll get fired, blah, blah, blah." I said, "Listen, I'm from England. I'm from East London." And the room exploded. They were like, "I told you, I want my money." I was sitting there like, what's going on?
No way.
And so it excited them.
What did David Simon? Yeah, was David Simon? How did he take it?
Yeah, he was flabbergasted. Flabbergasted. And it was then they said to me, "Well, great. Listen, we want you to play Stringer Bell." Because I was auditioning for Avon Barksdale.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Stringer Bell?" Mm-hmm. And he had like 2 lines.
Oh, no.
In the pilot. I was like, "Stringer Bell, okay. What character is that again?" And he's like, the guy that's next to Avon. I'm like, okay, yeah. Now, at this point, you either do this HBO pilot or you go back to England with your tail between your legs. And I was like, I'll take it, whatever.
Very nice. And then, so the period right after The Wire, was it a waterfall of opportunities and offers, or was it kind of slow growing?
It was a good time. The Wire, obviously, the first audience impact was African Americans. Okay, because The Wire grew. Like, it wasn't a hit immediately for HBO. And by the 3rd season, it was kind of fever pitch. I was like a ball player or a rapper. Wherever I went in African American neighborhoods, I was huge. They loved me, right? Yeah. You're like Stringer Bell. And so basically the roles that got offered to me in Waterfall were really sort of Stringer Bell type characters, like gangsters.
Right.
I got offered all of that, and I worked a lot with Will Packer.
Sure.
Who at the time had a production company. He was making films for the African American market, and he gave me my first big lead role in a film, and I think it was The Gospel, and from there I could I had this string of films that were in that market, a little bit here and there, some back home in England, but essentially it was very much sort of the same type of characters. Like after The Wire. After you're in a big TV show, it wasn't like, everyone wants to offer you jobs. They just wanted to see you play that character again, especially as Stringer Bell. No spoilers. You know what happened to Stringer.
No,
Jason.
but we know, I get that. I relate to that people want you to do the thing. They're like, do the thing. And I used to get that a lot. We're like, act like an idiot more. We want to see you act like an idiot all the time.
And they'd never seen Arrested Development. They were just like,
no,
this
they
guy
just
looks
see
like
my face.
He's pretty dumb.
Yeah, they were
Let's
just
see
looking
it.
at my stupid face, and they were like,
be dumb, dummy.
be even dumber than you are. Even dumber.
Oh, you're
even
an
dumber.
actor?
And then I took that over from Will.
So now, are you DJing the whole time? So you were into music.
I love this.
You were playing music as well as DJing before, during, and currently. Right? Like you've never stopped. Tell us about that and where that music passion came from. And
I was 14 when I decided I really want to become an actor. But at that point, I had been DJing, pretty much like 7 years. Like my uncle was a DJ, and I used to DJ with him. He used to, African man, African weddings, African Christian.
And where is this? What part of England?
So I'm from East London, but the community of West Africans in London was sort of spread out, South London, East London. So I used to, go with my uncle and DJ, and basically, whenever he got too drunk to finish the DJ set, I would just be up there just trying to finish up for him.
And how old are you finishing up?
Dude, I started when I was about 12 and, and way into my teens. And then...
Standing on a box.
Standing on the box. Actually, I was tall. I was a big kid.
Yeah?
So, and I had a beard by the time I was 13, so people just thought I was a...
Wow.
Sean, too.
Sean, you took a beard to prom, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Hey, so you were 14, you decided...
I was like 2 seconds behind you on that.
You decided
I caught it halfway through, too.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So you're 14, you're DJing, and then you're like what? You're like watching TV, or you're taking drama at school, or what's going on that you go like, yeah, I want to do that?
I went to a boys' school, Trinity Boys, and this school was pretty rough, and it was really sort of sports and academia, but drama. I was good at sports. I was okay with academia, but drama I was awesome at. Yeah. And my drama teacher, Miss McPhee, she just thought I was very talented and thought there's something there. And, in a boys' school, everyone just uses drama class to just piss about and have fun, right? But I took that shit seriously. I was like, I really love doing this. And she, when it was time to, do my finals exams and everything, she was like, Idris, are you serious about... And at that time, I was like, no, I'm going to be a radio DJ. I wanted to play music on the radio. That's what I wanted to do. She's like, okay, that's good, but you should not give up on acting. You're very good. And you know what I did? And then last year I said, actually, miss, all right, tell me what to do and I'll do it. So she enrolled me in the next stage, which was a college course that was specific about performing arts. And I did that for 2 years. And then at that point, I was 18 years old and I got my first job at 19 and that was
Wow.
it.
Do you remember some of the stuff you were in high school? Like, were you in like classic like plays and musicals that all high schools do?
No. Our drama classes was more improvisational,
And a lot of Neil Simon.
Yeah.
That's what they all do.
I did play Lenny in Of Mice and Men, though.
Nice.
Do you know the plays The Foreigner or The Nerd? Do you know those two plays?
I don't know, no.
Thanks so much for stopping by.
What are you, why, Sean? What was your point?
Because those are two very, 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 very huge popular plays
For high school.
And beyond. And the guy, because Jason said Neil Simon, he was supposed to be like the next Neil Simon. Larry Shue wrote those plays, and they were massively huge successes. And his mom was my Spanish teacher. in high school.
Oh,
so
that.
That's the
Oh, yes.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Sorry, when you said okay, yes, okay.
Yeah.
But Spanish, your mom, your Spanish teacher, his mom, yeah, for sure. Thanks, Sean.
All I want to talk about is Prometheus. Okay, go ahead.
We're gonna get to that.
No, we're getting there. We're inching our way through his life.
Hey, listen,
So
fascinated.
first job at 19, first like professional job, like getting paid.
Yes, it was. First job was actually this little crazy commercial about getting your bike stolen, and I played a guy that got my bike stolen and run up a hill and did a bit of acting, and then I got a TV show, which was a kids' TV show. I was 19, but I was playing someone that was 16.
Oh boy!
That was part of the gag. I was just a bit big for school. But yeah, but I wanted to go back. I'm really the worst guy when it comes to like. Who wrote what was in what, like,
Yeah.
You'll get along with Jason really well.
Yeah.
No.
He doesn't remember anything about
Yeah,
it.
I'm terrible,
Jason,
man.
what did you do this morning? What did you have for breakfast this morning, Jason?
Well, I'm still sort of picking it out of my teeth, so that's helpful. It's a little bit of oatmeal.
He doesn't remember shit
nice.
either.
Life.
I appreciate that. But listen, the podcast is called SmartLess. I came for the less.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's,
I know.
that's why
By
we're
the
here
way,
too.
There's always less.
Welcome to the party.
Now, what about? Tell us while we're still on the DJ thing. Didn't you DJ for the royal wedding? Can you tell us a little bit about that and how that was? How that came about?
Do you know what? It was I got, Harry is a friend, and I was DJing in all these kind of clubs that Harry would show up, and he was like, yo. I was like, yo. And then, at one point he was like, listen, man, I'm getting married. I was like, yo, that's amazing. Because I want you to DJ. And this is, we were just at this club.
Did he
and I'm
ask for your
DJing.
card?
No, he had my number. He made a request. I was like, I don't take. Oh, hey, man, what's up?
Now you've got this thing on Apple TV Plus called Hijack. This is an intense. I'm going to guess it takes place on a plane a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
What gave it away for you?
Yeah, I don't know. I've just sort of done a little bit of research.
What was the thing that...
Now, Sean would like to know, do you have any crazy stories on an airplane? He's basically good for any of the junket questions that you're
I
probably
love
used
those.
to answer.
Those are my favorite. Because I have a great plane story.
Tell me.
Yeah,
my friend-
let's
please,
hear it,
go ahead.
Sean.
Let's hear it,
Yeah.
John.
Idris, can
Me
you
and
hold
my-
on 1 second? Sean, this is your time.
Okay.
By the way, good to
This
tell.
might be good. It might be.
Gonna
It
tell
might inspire all of you to tell your airplane stories. Me and my friend Raina, you all know Raina. We were going to England for the first time. I was going to London for the first time in my life, and we got on what's the airplane? What's the brand? Who flies
British
there?
Airways.
British Airways. So we're in first class. We're like, oh my God, it's like first class, like a hotel, right? So we're like, let's get the time difference right away. So we took 2 Ambien and we're drinking wine. We just can't go to sleep because we're so excited that we're in first class on the way to England for the first time. And everybody in the cabin was completely flatbed sleeping, right? So I went around and came mere centimeters from everybody's mouth as they were sleeping, and I went and kissed every single passenger on
Air kissing.
air kissing. And we were crying.
Drunk on booze and
pills.
Ambien.
Was there
If
cell
anybody
phone
would have
of this?
woken up,
Cell
what's
phone
that?
footage of this at all?
No,
Before
they're
cell phones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
boy.
See? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but honestly, if you're in first class, for anyone that's not been in first class is, if you have been and you happen to be up, you're just really curious as who else is in here. And I do walk around and just like, do.
Now, what do you guys have a fix for? I don't like to fall asleep on airplanes, although I do a lot, because you can't help but have your jaw fall open while you're sleeping because you're sitting
That's
up.
right.
Right.
That's right.
So, I've
What are
seen
you
some
worried about?
people. I've
Just
seen
like
some
bugs getting
people.
in, or?
Yeah, well, it's just not a great look. I've seen some people sleep with like a sweater over their head or something.
Over
like
their
that.
fat heads.
Over their fat heads. Or maybe is that what those little neck pillows are for? So it can kind of keep your jaw shut a little bit? No?
First of all,
Yeah.
this is Idris.
Oh, well.
This is.
Sorry, Idris, can you hold on one more second?
There's no way Who are you worried about seeing your jaw open? The stewardess on your fucking private plane?
Well, I don't fly private. Anybody with a cell phone, it would be.
Yeah.
Who? The pilot on his way back to use the bathroom when it's just you're the only passenger? What are you talking about? Nice try, celebrities. They're just like us. No, they're not.
And what goes on up there in the front of the plane? It seems like they're eating great. Anyway,
No,
You sleep. Do you sleep well on the plane, Idris? Are you a good plane sleeper?
Yeah, pretty decent. And I usually I do fall asleep in that time period between, sitting down and taking off.
Oh, yeah.
So there's probably a bunch of pictures of me with my jaw open.
Yeah. One time I was flying from Newark to Europe, and they I took an Ambien years ago. Took an Ambien. I like as soon as we start taxiing, I'm like, here we go. Put the Ambien in because I don't want to, we haven't moved from the gate yet. I don't want to get caught in that thing of like something's wrong and then now you're on Ambien. We take off, the seat won't go back. It's locked, it's broken. So I like ding, ding, and I get the flight attendant. She comes to help me, and these two Scandinavian flight attendants, they came in, they just like took my seat apart and manually put it back. Meanwhile, I'm in the aisle,
safe.
and the Ambien's kicking in, and I feel fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, have you ever been awake on Ambien before? It's a nightmare.
It's not fun.
Well, listen, as I don't condone or take drugs, and when you say an Ambien, I kept thinking you were saying Amblin, as in...
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg?
The Steven Spielberg. Just a little piece.
Not that.
No.
Okay.
No. So I watch all the Ambien movies and those puppies.
Ambien has produced incredible.
Is that bad?
Yeah.
That's what I was...
Yeah.
It was reaching.
How old were you when you came from England to the States?
I was 27, probably.
27. And dumb question.
Yeah.
Because I'm obsessed with people's first impressions of the United States. What were the first things that were like, God, this is fucking weird being
You go
here.
right into New York?
I went straight into New York. When I moved to New York, I was 27. When the first time I got to New York was 20. I was 20 years old. And I had just finished this 2-year performing arts course doing everything. And in that time period, I learned about the Lee Strasberg institution that lived in 14th Street from New York. And I decided
Acting school?
Lee Strasberg Acting School. And I decided to go there. And, I sort of lived in New York for 6 weeks, practically in a YMCA around 14th Street, Union Square.
In 1990?
91, roughly.
How in the world, Will?
Idris, I was there at that same time.
Serious?
At the school? At Lee Strasberg?
At Lee Strasberg, yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I swear to God.
Wow.
Did you guys see each other? Clearly you didn't.
No, well,
No.
here's the thing. I didn't realize that you needed a visa to get in. So I had gone over there thinking I could just be like, hey, I'm here. Do you mind if I just pay? And they were like, nobody. You need a visa, student visa to be here. So I ended up staying in New York for 6 weeks. And the first thing that struck me wasn't weird. It was just that it's food obsessed, like food everywhere. Like, I used to go to a place called the Coffee Shop, which is a little spot.
Oh, yeah.
It's great, right? You remember the spot?
Right across the Union Square.
Yeah. And the food was amazing, and for no money, too. It's just like, wow. I was just like, this is crazy.
So when you go back to England now, did you notice a difference in the food? Like, are you like, you miss American food or no?
No, I lived in America for 16 years, and coming back to England, I guess the variety is just not as good. You know what I mean? The variety in America was just like...
Yeah, there's so much of it. Yeah.
There's so much, but there's almost, it's an interesting point. It is, we are sort of food obsessed in that sort of, it's a very American idea, right? It's just like more, bigger, more come. And so, and they're constantly advertising, got it in your face and stuff. And it's not like that.
Yeah. It's very, if you like food, it's great because the variety's there.
There's like 7 different sizes of Cheez-It boxes. I always get the biggest one.
Is there, Sean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's a Cheez-It?
Oh,
Cheez-Its are like
some
little
coal and cement. Hey, Idris, are you in England now?
I am. I'm in London.
All right. Now,
Yeah.
do you love going back there and working? Like Luther, you guys shot in England.
Okay,
yes?
well, I want to get into Luther. When did you do the first series of Luther? Fuck, dude, Luther is so excellent. When was that first series, man?
First series was in 2011, roughly. And this was at the sort of end of my American journey. Like, I'd been there for 16 years, roughly, about that point, and I was just seeing this glass ceiling hit me in the head, I had worked, was, adored, respected. I love America. I had a great time. I lived in LA, I lived in Miami, I lived in Atlanta, I lived everywhere, and I just could see that actually there was something missing in my career that maybe if I went home, I could, sort of patch up, and that was theater. And I wanted to go back to the theater. I didn't want to do it in New York. I wanted to go back to the theater. And while that was happening, while I was making that decision, then the script came along, and it was Luther. And I was like, the BBC, first of all, being in a lead on the BBC was like a big deal. And I hadn't ever done that in my career because I spent most of it in America. So it was a really big deal to be offered a lead role in a big 6-part drama about a detective. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was literally that, oh, this is great. I'll take this. And that was the beginning of the second half of my career, I guess, at that point.
That was, for me, that was one of those, and I was already a big fan of yours, so I was in when I saw you, that you were doing this thing. I wanted to watch it, and then watching it, it was so, I was so blown away by it, and also you're doing it with the great Paul McGann as well, whom I adore from, my favorite film of all time, of course, is Withnail, and seeing Paul do that with you. Just,
Big. You know what was crazy about working back in England, was that I had to do an English accent. Right? I had to just play an English character, and Luther's London, kind of like this kid that his dad was in the army, so he traveled a bit, whatever. But I couldn't really let go of my Americanisms.
Wow.
And everyone was like, and the people in the crew that thought that Stringer Bell was American was saying to me, your English accent's not bad.
That's hysterical. That's funny.
And I was home. I was like, yeah, it's not an accent, man. No, I'm English. Like, you're English? Fuck, no way. Anyway. Yeah.
Now, how do you like the big difference between the grind, the workload of being a lead in a drama, a 1-hour drama, where you're in every scene, working 12-hour days, versus the big, huge budget films that you've done where there's tons and tons of action, where you might only shoot maybe like a half a page over the course of like 2 days.
Yeah.
Where you're kind of sitting around a lot waiting for effects to set up or stunts to set up. What's your preference, or do you like to just kind of do half and half?
I mean, I'm on a film at the moment, which is very big, huge setups. We shoot maybe
What is it?
It's a film called The Heads of State.
Yeah.
Heads of State. I play the British Prime Minister, and John Cena plays. Okay, guys. The
American president.
President.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stay with me. And it's a big action comedy. And it's kind of like, very big, cumbersome setups, slow, right? And to your point, Jay, I come from, TV backgrounds. We shoot very quickly, we move quickly, and we try to achieve the impossible very quickly. And I love the pacing of that. I really do. I enjoy it.
You got to be good fast, right?
Fuck.
You can't be good on take 4. You got to be good on take 1.
You got to be good fast. And I think there's a real sort of satisfaction to that pacing. But of course, the big films allow you to really dig in and do some incredible, on budgets that are,
it is a weird thing. I remember that first time doing a big budget film and doing, Jay, to your point, like coming in and doing like a, maybe an eighth of a page or something on some big setup for the day.
Right.
And there's one line. You and me and the other person in the scene had one line each. We just had this. I said something, then she said something back to me. And they're like, yeah, this is really good. We feel really good talking to the director, and the producer's like, we got a great day and we're going to get this thing. And we should just talk about the script, talk about it. I go, the 2 lines? What are you talking about? Like, okay, we don't need to have much of a conversation.
You guys just want to run that a few times or
what the
workshop
fuck
it?
are we talking about? And like, to your point, Idris, as you know, you're making HBO, and both you guys know as well, you're going like, you work on shows where sometimes you do 9-10 pages a day where you're running and gunning, man.
Right.
It's
Now, what
weird.
about?
I like that.
Now you're enjoying directing lately as well too, right? And are you enjoying bigger scale things, smaller scale things? What type of directing are you excited about right now?
I mean, I directed a bunch of small scale things like music videos and short content, small type things. Okay, a little bit of TV, and that was the beginning. And I just enjoy the process of just being given a music video. I did a music video for the Mumford & Sons, for example.
Yeah. Wow.
I starred in it. I wrote the treatment. I sent it to them. They said yes. I pulled together the budget. I love it.
Wait, Jason was it? Wasn't that the one you were in, Jay?
What, for the Mumford & Sons?
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Will Forte and Jason Sudeikis and Ed Helms played the band members.
Isn't that wild?
And it was like a comedic sort of Western type of thing. Yeah, it was fun.
Guys, my wife and I have this big crush on Jason Bateman, and we've talked about this a lot. And we met him at a party, and we tried to do Jason Bateman impressions in front of Jason Bateman. It was embarrassing, but my wife was like, "Dude, you have a massive crush on him." I was like, no, I just like the guy. And now,
show him your back tat. Show him the tattoo on your back.
Okay. It's on my bum, actually. No. And now we was in a Mumford & Sons video, both of us.
I know. This has just upped the ante.
I know, it really has.
But now, does your impression of Jason, does it sound a lot like a modem from the 90s?
Yeah. Or just a dial tone. Robot.
Jason, that's cute. Did you know that Idris had a?
It's not cute.
thing for you?
We have met a few times, and he's a very, very nice man. This is a nice man.
I love that. I didn't know that.
Wow,
with incredible
what a weird-
taste. With incredible taste.
You're reaching
Can I
there,
ask-
Will. Reaching.
I know, I'm trying to.
I love you too, by the way.
No. I'm trying to get him to. I'm trying to get him to react.
Robots don't react.
Idris,
you
can
should've
I
seen his
ask you
face.
two nerd questions? I'm a
Yes,
massive Aliens fan, and I love you in Prometheus, and I thought you were
you very
incredible. And were you a fan of the Alien franchise before? What was it like working with Ridley Scott and being on those sets, which were just so massive and amazing?
Yes, I was a massive fan of Aliens. I wouldn't say like fanatic. I didn't know, the whole, but I loved the film.
I do.
Loved you really? Okay.
I know everything about Aliens.
I'm going to disappoint you then. But I was a big fan of Ridley. I have and still am. And I'm trying to remember, but I'd worked with Ridley on American Gangster, and he asked me to play a small part in American Gangster, and then I got Prometheus, which is a slightly bigger part. But so that was my second time working with him. Prometheus was, it's just like the scale of it was bonkers. And Ridley's very much an actuality guy. This is just before the sort of like, the sort of virtual production,
Right.
productions.
Yeah,
which
because I
have-
saw the shot. I saw a photo of the set. It's just unbelievably
all that
massive.
stuff was made.
Oh, you mean like before the thing where they do the projection wall that we talked about with?
Yes.
With Favreau. Yeah.
Favreau, that style of production has taken over, and that's fair enough. But back Prometheus and Aliens, they built these sets, and obviously, and Prometheus was amazing. And I remember the guy at the end, the big white alien.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. No, keep going. I love it.
I don't need to keep going because
Yeah. So no Wire, no Prometheus. Don't need to see those.
Sean, tell us what happens in the scene. So the thing comes out, and it's like, wow.
Yeah,
from
and the guy's
space.
like, yeah. By the way, do you know how the engineer?
Tell them how they did it.
Yeah,
Well, Sean.
excuse me. By the way, Idris, did you know that according to my calculations,
Sean, I do know that engineer, the actual man, that engineer in real life is about 8 foot tall.
Wow.
In real life.
And you know what he's based on? They designed it based on partly designed based on the Statue of Liberty.
Yes,
Day.
the
Isn't that
symmetry
wild?
of the face. I know this.
Yeah.
How did you ever land, Scotty? How did you ever get that?
Yeah, what do you...
Now, Idris and I have been in a film together. Did you guys know that?
No, what is it?
What are you talking about?
It's called Zootopia, where he used his incredible golden pipes to voice the character of Idris. Any
Captain Bogo, actually.
Captain Bogo. He was a
Bogo.
panther or tiger?
Neither.
Yeah.
Where was it? Oh, no, the water buffalo. Water buffalo. Yep.
Can you please tell me? It's been rumored that you're going to be in the new Star Wars movie. Can you please tell me if that's true?
You can't speak about that.
No, I'm not in it. No. Really? There's a rumor?
Why? Because there's rumors that you're going to be in the new Star
Nice
Wars
journalism,
movie.
Sean.
No, not at all.
Who started the rumor, Scotty?
I just started it now.
You started. You won
According to the message boards that I started.
on my Reddit.
I did read that. I did read that a couple places, but you may be coy about it. But who knows? I don't know.
Now, what about if you could have tickets to any concert tomorrow? What would you? What would they be? Who would they be for? Who's rocking your world right now?
Any concert right now?
Besides Taylor Swift?
Yeah. It doesn't have
Besides
to be your
Taylor
favorite.
Swift. Okay. Can it be anyone, dead or alive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, so first of all, in England right now, there's this sort of production of ABBA.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've heard about this. That it's great.
And
I wanna see that.
apparently it's incredible.
Yeah.
And I haven't had a chance to do it, and I want to do it because it's a marvel. There's holograms and, just incredible. And that would be I love music, so that would be great.
Are you an ABBA fan? Are you an ABBA fan?
That's about as kind of yeah
Wow.
as you can give us.
That's what an endorsement. What
Higher
an
can be
endorsement.
kinder.
No, hold on. Listen, I am, but I mean, I don't know every word. I just, everyone loves a little bit of ABBA.
Yeah,
surely.
for sure.
And plus, I DJ at weddings, as you know, so ABBA always works.
Well,
Wait, didn't they do that movie at Universal about ABBA? Wasn't it
Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia?
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah.
about ABBA, right?
Yeah, based on the musical.
Oh,
It's
all right.
based on a song that ABBA sung, and
Right.
then they made them. Yeah.
and then
It's a
They
fascinating
made two
story.
of those, I think.
did they did?
Yeah,
What
Mamma
do they
Mia
call the
too.
second one? I'm just curious.
What do they call it? It was called.
Daddy Mia.
Mamma
Here we
Mia.
go again.
Daddy Mia.
Here we go again.
Something
Here we
like
go
that.
again. That's pretty good.
But it said more like, here we go again.
That's kind. That's kind.
I actually liked it. I liked it.
Pierce Brosnan sends his love.
I love that dude. Speaking of Pierce Brosnan, former
No,
007.
don't do it.
Yeah, come on, please.
What?
I know. Was that annoying? No, what I want to know is because there was all those rumors that forever that Idris was going to play James Bond. What I
Who
want
is?
to ask,
Who is
there
playing
were
James
lots of
Bond?
rumors that Idris was going to be James
Yes,
Bond.
I remember
for
that.
years and years and years.
Yeah,
And
I heard
Been a
that.
good choice.
so amazing.
Great.
And so my question is this: was that process so fucking annoying, dealing with everybody asking you every 2 seconds?
No, annoying would be, being
named-
asked about it over and over again on different podcasts while
Will is
promoting Hijack that we've never spoken about.
Wait
That
a
was
second.
annoying,
No,
but other
we
than that-
I think it's
we
about
are
a
going to speak
plane.
about it. No, I want to ask you about the
joking.
process
I'm
of
joking.
being asked about it. Yeah.
The truth is, man, I was super complimented for a long time about this. I was like, what? This is crazy, because James Bond, we're all actors and we understand that role is one of those sort of, coveted type, it's like being named sexiest man. I got
Also
that.
annoying, right?
Annoying.
God, how
I
annoying.
did
So
get
sick
named
of
that.
it.
Sorry about that. But
Yeah.
but being, asked to be James Bond was like, okay, you've sort of reached the pinnacle. That's kind of one of these things that the whole world sort of has a vote in. And, essentially it was a huge sort of compliment that every corner of the world, except for some corners, which we will not talk about, were really happy about the idea that I could be considered. Those that weren't happy about the idea made the whole thing disgusting and off-putting, because it became about race and it became about just nonsense, dude. And I got the brunt of it.
That's fucking bullshit.
Who
That
did
sucks.
get it? Who's playing James Bond right now? Who is it?
Nobody now, right?
No one knows.
They haven't decided?
They haven't. I think.
Gotcha. All right.
Who are you texting, Jason? Are you texting your agent?
Yeah,
that's crazy. If you think for a fucking.
But but Idris is not available to play James Bond because he's going to be busy doing Hijack 2. Because Hijack is going to be so good. Recently out on Apple.
The smoothest transition.
I can't wait to see it.
Right? He's also an executive producer on it. Now, as an executive producer, are you
talking about Hijack that's out right now?
Yeah, on Apple. Have you not seen it?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yes, it's stream it now.
I'm going to see it. It's called Hijack.
He plays a steward, right? A male flight attendant on it. No,
I don't. Nope.
Wow.
Wait a second.
No.
He's a
there's
baggage
this
handler.
app that you can apply it to your moving camera, and it makes your eyes look like it's looking at the screen.
Yeah,
but actually, it's reading.
I need to get one of those.
So you can research and speak at the same time without people watching you.
We don't do any of that stuff.
This is incredible.
This is a
SmartLess chat and giggle. Now, what do you play in Hijack? Are you helping or are you hurting on Hijack?
So I play. I play a male prostitute who.
So
got
you're
my
helping.
attention. Go ahead.
Busy.
He's helping.
Yeah, there you go. No, I play a guy called Sam Nelson who is works in Dubai, or he's working in Dubai. He's a business closer. He kind of does the last minute finalities on a merger. Yeah. He's married, but he and his wife are going through some crazy, and he decides to get on a plane to go home to sort it out. Okay, He abandons the business. You don't see any of that, but you learn it later. And on the plane, basically, there's a hijack. And he's so desperate to get home because his marriage is falling apart that he decides it's a good idea to use his business negotiation closing skills to basically figure out who this cell of hijackers are. And he decides to do it literally by brain power, by trying to wear them down with personality and talking and asking questions and just getting under the skin, and that's what happens.
Nice. Instead of using your fists, Will.
That's what we do on SmartLess.
Will, if you just talk to people and you're nice to people instead of punching people, you can get things.
And the show's great because it's like in real time. So it's 7 episodes, and it happens each hour is in real time.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, man.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I love that. Wait, now, I also remember hearing something about you starting a marketing agency. Is that true? Am I getting any of that right?
That's right.
Why?
We just announced that, actually. Why?
Oh, you did? I read it somewhere like recently.
Yeah.
Why and what's exciting about it?
Okay, so we Mark Boyan, who is a very successful and owns this very successful marketing company called Maroma. And Maroma and I have worked together to create a company called Silly Face. Silly Face is a marketing agency which is, I guess, designed to sort of find ways to inject, reignite fun back into marketing. Okay, now look, I'm a guy, as you read my my introduction. I'm intersectional. You can say that about me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that in this day and age of really smart consumers and brands wanting to be intersectional and trying to do different things, there's a disconnect. Consumers are like, really, dog? You're Mars chocolate. Why are you trying to sell me music?
Right.
And that whole intersectionality needs navigating. And I honestly find myself in a situation where I can actually speak on this quite intelligently. That I think it's okay for people to try different things. I think it's okay for brands to want to reach out in different areas and try different ways to reach new audiences. But I think it needs to be done with integrity and smart. I think storytelling is at the heart of it. You know what I mean? I didn't come here with a marketing degree. I'm a storyteller. And I tell many different stories. So as you read me, so you kickboxed. Okay, yeah, I can talk about it intelligently. It doesn't make it inauthentic that I did it. But the story is that I did it. Here's my reasons why. So if a brand is at this junction where they're like, hey, I want to market into a new area, I'm not sure who to go to, you can go to many marketing companies. The world doesn't need a new one. However, Mark and I have this sort of philosophy around trying to do it in a way that makes sense for the consumer as well as it does for the brand. You know what I'm saying?
That's cool.
Now, were you always super motivated when you were a kid? Like, were your parents, did they tell you early on, like, you got to go out there and get what you want? And because it seems like you have no quit in you. I love that. Great work ethic, yeah?
I think the answer is yes, if I'm really honest. Pardon the overshare, but my mum, she tried for children for a while, and it was hard. It was really hard. I came along, and she was like, and I think she just, I guess she carried this little bit of sort of, sense for the children that she didn't manage to bear, and just wanted me to be the best I could be and win and go and go and go. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't like she was out there. She's always telling me, you should relax. Why are you doing so much? But she also just said, my man, like, we're here and then we're not here. So do what you want and go for it. You know what I'm saying? And
absolutely, 100%.
I don't know how that transferred into a work ethic. I'm an only child. So number one, I was always sort of like using my imagination way more than any of my friends I knew.
Yeah.
I just had the imagination. I just kept going like, oh, what if we did this? And whenever I would play out as a kid, go out to play with my friends, whether it's outside, I'd always be the one that's like, do we have to go home now? We don't have to go home. Let's stay out. I mean, because I didn't have siblings. And so I think that transferred to basically a place where, as an artist, and here's the thing, guys, you know this, right? We, as actors, are so, like, spoiled. We're privileged. We get offered so much that it takes many people years to get.
Yeah.
Business opportunities, conversations. And, I'm sitting down with the likes of you guys.
Sorry about that.
No, but I mean, it's not a everyday.
You got to touch bottom before you can push up and hit the top.
Okay? We promise this will be your bottom.
But trust me when I say, from my perspective, to come on here and speak to you guys, who I respect so much, that's a privilege, and to take advantage of that is something that I think is just kind of like why I find myself taking advantage of an opportunity all the time.
Yeah.
So I DJ. I love DJing. And so someone says to me, hey, you want to do the royal wedding? Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, why
course,
not?
yeah.
I tell the story. So trust me, but I'm not one of these people that just needs to be famous or wants to be famous or just needs to do things just for, like, most of the things that I really, really do, I don't really ever hit the news headlines, and I prefer that. However, it is what it is.
Yeah, I've noticed that about you. You're a massive star, and you do not lean into it. You don't see a lot of pictures of you out, movie premieres and cutting ribbons and lighting your hair on fire and saying, "Look at me, I'm famous." You just work constantly at the highest level with great people on great projects, and you're just doing your work, and the fame just comes with that. Yeah.
I take that observation. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I think I'd say that longevity.
Yeah, that's the goal.
That's the goal. And I think people can get exhausted, especially with someone like me. That's like, oh, you're in a rap video now. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, people can get exhausted. I think I've exhausted the three of you today already.
No, you have not.
No, oh my God.
Are you kidding me?
What are you
doing? No, I'm serious. I know I have. But the truth is, like, if I think people tend to find, especially now these days, where we're all sort of addicted to social media and wanting to feed the engine. We was talking about press junkets earlier. I mean, those things are relentless these days. They want to know everything about you. So I just prefer to say less, and then when I have to say, I speak.
How old are your kids? Are they looking to get into this business at all?
Yeah, I have a 9-year-old, a 21-year-old, and a 30-year-old. And my 30-year-old, he's an actor, and he wants to grow in that space. My 21-year-old is in NYU studying film.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is great. And my 9-year-old wants to be a gamer.
That's cool.
Yeah?
Okay.
That was a profession not available to the 30-year-old and the 21-year-old, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or us. Yeah, although it's probably, don't they make more money on video games than they do in the movie industry?
Yeah.
Right? Isn't like Call of Duty and that stuff?
It's been a while now. Yeah. They've far surpassed like all those big
billions.
Game titles will far outpace. One of those successful games, I think it was Call of Duty a few years ago, made more money than all the studios made
combined.
Call of Duty.
Good Lord. Idris, we're 11 minutes over our
We
our
have
commitment
tapped
to
you.
We're very sorry.
Wow.
We owe you 11 minutes in your life. I'm happy to serve it back to you if you come back out to LA anytime soon.
100%, I'd love to. Do you guys do a live version of this on camera? That's all?
We have done. We did that
We did a tour,
a year ago, and we may do it again. We're thinking about maybe doing it in Europe one of these days. But if we do, we're booking you in London if that's all right.
Yeah,
with you.
we filmed it. It's a doc that's out on Max right now.
Sick. I'm going to watch
And
that.
you know, if you want any merchandise, let's give them the merchandise address, Sean.
Yeah, guys, let's send him some merch. No.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's send him a hat.
Let's send him one hat.
sure.
Let's for sure send Idris a hat.
Idris, thank you for being with us, my friend. Can't wait
The
to see you
great
again.
Idris Elba.
Yes,
The greatest.
big fan. So great
Thank
to
you
meet
very
you.
much.
Idris.
Thanks so much, guys. I had
Listener,
a
if
great
you
time.
could see the smile.
Thank you, man. What a pleasure.
Look at that.
All right, enjoy your dinner. Here comes dinner time
It
over
is,
there,
it
right?
is.
Pretty soon.
I
All right.
appreciate you guys. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you,
Thanks.
pal. Good
Thanks,
to see
pal.
you.
Thanks, pal. Cheers. Bye.
Cheers.
Good night.
Cheers. All right. See you later.
Now,
Idris Elba.
that's a man. That's a
That-
man. Okay.
That's a
He's a cool dude.
giant, tall man.
He's a very big man. I met him. I met him once briefly. I didn't want to bring it up because there's a really good chance he didn't remember. So I just didn't want to embarrass myself.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
That was pretty cool, though.
you weren't the
mean,
guy that he beat up in his kickboxing match, were you?
Pretty
'Cause
sure
I'm
it
not
wasn't.
surprised that he's undefeated there.
No, me neither. Also, yeah, he's a big dude, and I'm saying like he was in that. He was saying he was in that video where he's the guy who gets his bike stolen. Who the fuck would steal Idris Elba's bike? Good luck.
I know.
A dumb criminal. I think it was
Yeah.
called. I think the song was called "Dumb Criminal."
Yeah, yeah.
But he's a hero of mine. That guy.
So good.
And Willie sounds like you've been following him for quite some time.
Who, me?
Yeah,
Oh,
you're a big fan. Yeah.
I'm a massive fan of his.
I'm a
I
huge
think he's.
fan.
I got to jump back into the wire. Damn it.
I know.
He's been in like Thor and like a
and like
bunch of
literally, I feel like every girl I know has a crush on him.
yeah.
Oh
too.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Suicide Squad and Fast and Furious, and I mean, he was. We didn't talk about his part in The Office. He did some office work. It says here on
Oh, yeah.
Wikipedia.
He's also like the fact that he had the marketing company. Like he's all over. It's incredible.
I know.
It's very impressive. It's very
It
impressive.
is impressive. He's just like doing like a million things. That's what I said when I was like, we're not doing enough.
No,
This
you're
guy.
not. You're really not.
My favorite line of this whole episode was Jason calling Cheez-Its colon cement.
In a fun color. In
I mean,
bite-sized
they're
pieces.
They're not.
Colon cement.
Cheez-Its are great.
They are
Yeah.
great. To our friends at Cheez-Its, thank
Yeah, you get a bowl of Cheez-Its when you watch a movie like that. That's my popcorn.
Is it really?
Yeah, I love it. I
But
love it.
it's not popcorn.
It's not.
No, it's not a Cheez-Its.
That's all. That also will back you up quite a bit. Popcorn.
Popcorn will, yeah, for
Popcorn,
sure.
you know what? I just read popcorn's not great for you.
Why?
No, it'll build
Yeah,
a plug.
Just
Really?
I was just
Hey.
reading about it. Yeah.
Okay. Idris Elba is in a movie called Hijack.
I think he's trying to get to his buy.
I am.
I
Here
know.
it comes.
Right. Is Hijack. And his character,
Uh-huh.
he's told us, was working in I actually wrote it down so I wouldn't forget it.
Smart. Less. Smart. Less.
SmartLess is 100% organic and artisanally handcrafted by Michael Grant Terry, Rob Armjarv, and Bennett Barbaco.
Smart. Less.